One leads Sudan's army as the country's de facto leader. The other, a notorious rebel leading a powerful paramilitary force. Once allies, these two Sudanese generals have been fighting for months to control one of Africa's most strategic countries.
I don't know any family that hasn't been affected by this, hasn't been impacted. Pastors, church community leaders, they've all had to flee.
For 10 years, Tina Ramirez sought to advance human rights and religious freedom in this predominantly Muslim country. She worries all of that may be in jeopardy now as civil war engulfs the country.
The situation there is very dire. Churches have been bombed and attacked and looted, so have mosques and other places of worship.
Fighting between General Burhan's army and General Dagalo's rebel rapid support force has left at least 3,000 people dead and 12,000 more wounded. According to human rights experts, the situation in the western Sudan region of Darfur is particularly horrific, with reports of rebel fighters going on a killing spree.
The bodies of at least 87 ethnic Masalit and others allegedly killed last month by rapid support forces and their allied militia in West Darfur have been buried in a mass grave.
Using thermal detection data from NASA satellite images, Yale University's Conflict Observatory found those fighters deliberately targeted at least 26 communities in Darfur, burning down entire neighborhoods and villages.
A lot of this is ethnic, a lot of this is tribal. And there is absolutely some targeted violence.
Mike Congrove leads Empower One, a ministry training Sudanese Christians to start churches. Congrove says Christians from different denominations and parachurch groups in Darfur are working together despite enormous risks.
We're really seeing some great cooperation to make sure guys are okay, men and women are okay, that folks who need to get out are able to escape and getting some support that they need.
Nearly 3 million people have been displaced within the country. Another 800,000 have escaped to neighboring countries like Chad, South Sudan, Egypt, and Ethiopia.
As they are trying to flee the city into the Nuba Mountains, part of South Sudan, over into Chad and other areas, the streets are lined with dead bodies.
Meanwhile, the UN says the country's healthcare infrastructure is collapsing, with 80% of the hospitals now out of service.
Hospitals have been taken over by the RSF and these other forces. The medical supplies have been targeted and attacked. Medical workers have been attacked.
Congrove's group has set up aid distribution points close to the Sudanese border for the thousands streaming out of the country. He's asking people around the world to pray for a ceasefire, and especially for those who've decided to stay and help their countrymen.
And I just was on a call over the weekend with a key leader in Darfur. And he said, I want to keep reaching people for Christ. And he's someone who hasn't left. And a lot of people have. And he's intentionally staying in and surrounded by fighting. And he's asking for prayer.
George Thomas, CBN News.